Hey guys, I am back for another video. This video is going to be for someone specific because I know how this feels. I know how traumatizing that it is. Sometimes though, we take a fear of ours and we make it way worse than when it actually happens. And believe it or not, like when the fear actually that we have in our head takes place, it's not as bad as we actually envisioned it to. But this is for a steady client of mine. And basically, we were on the phone today. And while we were on the phone today, she got her own version of divorce papers. And, it's awful. It's one of those things to where it is absolutely traumatizing. It is a shock. You're expecting it, but then you're not expecting it. It's a roller coaster of emotions. So I'm on here to say that I completely 100% know how you feel, honey. And, we talked today. But I'm thinking that maybe this will help somebody else that's on here that is dreading the situation. And I had shared with her part of my story on how I received them and how it was absolutely excruciating. It was humiliating. Something that took place with her and took place with me, and a lot of you who already had this take place could probably relate. And if not, maybe you'll relate in the future. But something that will happen is it's like a carpet, rug, whatever you want to call it, is ripped out from underneath of you. And you're not sure what happened, but like it seemed like things were getting better. It seemed like things were progressing. And it almost looked like it was headed towards restoration. Reconciliation, however you want to put it. And then all of a sudden, it's like the tables turn. And then the tables turn into the opposite of what you thought. Weird. It doesn't make any sense. And this happened with her. Yesterday was a really good day that they spent together. And they spent it as a family. They had fun. He looked happy. And you're thinking, how on earth could this be? It doesn't make any sense. But one thing I learned, guys, is this journey doesn't make sense. Okay? And if you think you got it figured out, you're in for a rude awakening, because you ain't going to figure it out. Okay? And most of the time, it gets worse before it gets better. In my situation, I was telling her how I had a whole weekend, a few years ago, a whole weekend where it was like everything was really good, between us. And he, was at the house staying, for a whole weekend. It was Memorial Day weekend, and I cooked. We watched movies all day together, and we had a really nice time. We slept in bed together, all the things. And I never thought in a million years, Monday, Memorial Day, a few years ago, and he ended up giving me, first he ended up buying me a car that day. So I'm really thinking, wow, God, things are really turning around. We went over the in-laws. We had a good day. And then all of a sudden, that day, he told me he was getting an apartment and signed a lease. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I couldn't even believe it. I was shocked. I remember I actually went into the bathroom and was singing the song, Too Good to Not Believe, as I'm in there crying, And then a whole month later is when I got the divorce papers, and my mother-in-law gave them to me. And that's a whole other story. I mean, that was absolutely humiliating, hurtful, whatever you want to call it. And then, I was at her house and I couldn't even cry because when she gave them to me, common sense, I had to keep it together. My pride didn't want to cry and all the different things. And then I remember my husband actually showed up at the house. He was golfing with his dad at a union picnic that was actually my dad's, because my dad got him a job in the union. And they were all there, and they come back, and I felt just humiliated. And I remember I toughed it out. I had to pretend to eat and all that. He's there, and it was just awkward. And I remember leaving, getting in the car with my son, driving straight to my parents' house. My dad comes out, and I just was crying. He said, "Don't worry, Meg. Don't worry. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out." And I remember he took the papers and he was going to go over them at work. And he left for vacation, was texting me while he was on vacation. And I remember he came back and we had an appointment figured out to go to the lawyer's office. Things were so bad. My husband was trying to take my son. Half the time it was like everything was happening at once. And then all of a sudden, I'm about to go to the lawyer's office. My dad was going to get on a Zoom call with us. And my mom goes to wake my dad up and he's dead. And it was absolutely awful, guys. It was awful. And all I'm here to say is it does seem to get worse before it gets better. And if you want to talk about pain, I know pain. That's just a fraction of the story. But, getting the divorce papers out of nowhere, when things were better, it doesn't make any sense. But that, my friend, is what spiritual warfare is. And I'm here to tell you, you will make it. You will make it. As awful as it is, I promise you that you will make it. But you're not going to make it unless you keep going. If you quit today, what would it solve? If you quit today and just said, "I'm done with this whole God stuff, I'm not doing it no more," what would it really solve? Think about it, guys. What would it solve? You might try to start over and do things your way, but at the end of the day, with no God, common sense, you're going to perish with them, the ones who've betrayed you. So what good does it do? So keep on going, guys. You may have got a shock and it may have come out of nowhere, but remember, they had to get God's permission. The enemy had to get God's permission to even be able to do it. Okay? And you're better than that. Okay? So what if your spouse doesn't want you right now? You're a prize. You're a prize. Don't let anybody tell you different. So I will talk to you guys later. I love you all so much. I hope this was motivating. If you would like to work with me, you can email me, deadmarriagesredeemed@gmail.com. I repeat, deadmarriagesredeemed@gmail.com. Facebook group, Dead Marriages Redeemed. Other Facebook group, Redeeming the Broken. Come on over. And then our new one for women is Confident Thriving Women. Okay, guys, I will talk to you soon. Bye.